Verse 8. Judah, your brother shall praise you. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's son shall bow down before you. Okay, so now he moves over to Judah. And we've seen already a number of times when the second time they went down to Egypt. The first time when they came back, Reuben was the one saying, okay, you can kill my two sons if we don't bring Benjamin back. In chapter after that, no mention of Reuben. Judah, the one to speak up. Judah will say, I will take responsibility for this. Okay, so this is what is happening. So now all of a sudden here we can see Judah as well. He is the one that will be praised. Unlike, it's not one of the others. It's not even Joseph. It's Judah. And I mean, this is one of those which you can really see as kind of pointing towards the kingship that's coming from their line. So how could Jacob know? I mean, they didn't even have kings yet. How could he know? And that is again why I say about liberal scholars say, but that's not possible. So in other words, this must have been written at a very later stage. No, I believe in prophecies as God knows the future because he knows all of time. Okay, so if he wants to give you information about what's going to happen, he can. He does it very seldom, but he can. Okay, the one who knows everything, you know. It's like when you teach your children something, you know the answer to the question. But if you just give the answer to the question, your child's not going to learn anything, right? So you try to lead your child towards the answer, although you already know the answer. Okay, some people see equation, mathematical equation, they can immediately tell you the answer. Other people need to go through 15 steps to get to the answer. Okay, so that person knowing the answer could have immediately said the answer is 5. And for the other person it took half an hour, or for your child. So you lead them step by step to get to the answer. Okay, so if you went back and said, oh, it's 5, but I haven't, how can you know? Well, because I know, I mean, in my brain, right? Because I know everything, kind of idea, right? So in other words, if you know, like in that case, you clearly don't think that the father or whoever is leading this child into to get the right answer through all the stages, that he's lying or deceiving. Okay, but you need for that child to learn how to solve it in his own, so that he can teach his child, son or daughter one day. You need to lead him step by step, and this is what God does with us as well. And ultimately, so yes, prophecies he can. He doesn't do it often, right? But sometimes he does. So that Judah is the one to be praised. But remember, that was as well already the name Rachel gave him. And this neck on the, actually it's Levi. It's Judah. Right now. So the hand on the neck of the enemy. So he will be strong. He will be forcing down the enemies. The others will bow down before him. They would think, but now we're bowing down before Joseph. We'll most likely keep on bowing down before Joseph, the second in command here. No, like they didn't expect to bow down before Joseph. Now they're not expecting, or they were not expecting, to bow down ultimately before Judah. Yes, he's going to do. Yes, the first king going to come from the tribe of Benjamin. But there was one, and he was rejected. And then the rest came from David, from the line of Judah. Verse 9. Judah is a lion's cub. From the prey, my son, you have gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as a lioness, who dares rouse him? Okay, the symbol, right? Judah is the symbol of Judah is a lion. Ultimately, the lion of Judah is ultimately Jesus, as we know. Okay, so this is as well prophecies. Even if, I mean, this is a prophecy even already concerning Jesus, who will be called the Lion of Judah. Okay, and even the most liberal Bible scholar would say this was written before the life of Jesus. So according to them, then this can't have anything to do with Jesus, because then ultimately it will be a prophetic voice concerning Jesus, which can't be true because prophecies they don't happen. So in other words, then this must have nothing to do with Jesus. But we know that Jesus is called the Lion of Judah, and this is now like this mention of him as crouching, as the strength, even as a lion is crouching. Okay, and who dares to rouse him? Who dares to go up against him? They actually dared the other tribes, but it didn't work out well for them. Verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until tribute comes to him, and to him shall be the obedience of the peoples. So this scepter is not. So the scepter of the king, of the leader, Did he mean to say that he will be a king? Right? Or is he just speaking of him as the leader in the family? God gave prophecies to Abram years before where he said kings will come from you. And I already spoke about that, about the fact that the Edomites, when he spoke about Esau's line and the end there, right, chapter 36, although they didn't have yet, but there was a prophecy to Abram given that they will have kings, right? So why not? Why could he not foresee a time when they'll have kings? It kind of makes sense. If they're going to grow into a nation, and now already into a bigger group, right? And God promised, and God kept his promises. And some other time, that's kind of the norm, right? So I don't think it's strange to think of, but it's just so that he will be their ruler, and the staff and the people will be obedient to him. I mean, in the time of David and in the time of Solomon, how obedient the people were to them. And now, ultimately, understandably, again, in the time with Jesus as the ultimate Lion of Judah, right? Everyone is obedient to him. Doesn't matter. Every knee shall bow. Okay, very few people down there where all these lights are on. It's a very beautiful view. Really obedient to Jesus, right? But the unbeknownst they are, and all of their knees will bow down before him one day. Verse 11. So this is a prophecy concerning David, clearly. But for us, knowing Jesus as well, we can see that there's a further prophecy in all of that as well. Verse 11. Binding his foal to the vine, and his donkey's colt to the choice vine. He has washed his garments in wine, and his vesture in the blood of grapes. So in other words, this just points towards this war and his victories in war. Okay, so wherever he wants to, he can bind his fowl. Nobody's telling him where he can do it. He can do whatever he wants to. Okay, and his donkey's choice, the choice vine. You're like, this is my vine. You can't do that. I am Judah. Right, that kind of idea, his strength, is what he's pointing to. The washing the garments in wine, and the vesture in blood of grapes. Now that is clearly about a warfare, an attacking, and how he will be a victor. Verse 12. His eyes are darker than wine, and his teeth whiter than milk. So these eyes are darker than wine, with the kind of revenge and the warfare and the teeth, like a lion, whiter than milk. So he's like biting it all. Like again, it shows in his strength, the strength of the eyes and the teeth, and how he will be. He is going to be the man, right? So Judah clearly is the focus in amongst his sons. Okay, Joseph, yes, his two sons are out of the way. Okay, because of who Joseph is. But amongst the rest, the one that really ultimately will stand out, be the victor, be the one before whom all will be bowing down, is going to be Judah.